What's going on, T Crew? You know, it's really funny, actually. The first time I did that, I just completely crashed. But the second time now when I did it, it was okay. See, you know, I got like a little block and everything. And, you know, I stopped it off. We were good to go. Now, when does Final Fantasy XIV Get Good? I've been playing this game for like a month and a half, maybe 2 months now. And honestly, man, I'm loving it every step of the way. But it does have one big problem so far, and the way to level 60.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
The leveling and the quests just pretty much sucked on the way there. The main story is really well done. Like, Eorzea has a really fleshed out world. The lore is sick. Square Enix did a bang out job. But there's a lot in it that honestly just sucks. There's a lot of quests that are just meaningless and inconsequential and have nothing to do with the actual main story itself. I don't care about going to a river and it taking 6 steps to fill up a bucket of water and then bring it back to somebody who just wants to go wash their chocobo. That makes no sense. I've been playing a lot of MMOs as I've grown up, you know, MapleStory, Fliff, World of Warcraft, Rose Online, Ragnarok Online, Tibia, RuneScape, Phantasy Star Online, a lot of different games, and Monster Hunter too. But I don't know if you could really count Monster Hunter as an MMO. I played that on my PS2 and everything like that. But one thing that I kind of think that they all have in common is that quests can only really vary so much, but they can still be fun. But the issue with Final Fantasy XIV is that it has such a strong story that for going from a quest where you're taking out an awesome, massive primal like Ifrit to having to wash a chocobo or finding someone's son who's playing hide and seek in a town, it just, I get it if you need filler, but I just didn't like that, and I feel like a lot of people feel the same way. The biggest warning and the biggest thing that I would constantly hear about Final Fantasy was that when I would start playing, A Realm Reborn levels 1 to 60 would be pretty much the worst part of the game, which sucks. And that's also probably why Square Enix, that they're actually going to be changing the process from 1 to 60 and A Realm Reborn as far as I know. So I just hit 60 pretty recently, and now when I'm looking back on it, the game gets better as time goes on, but there's a stretch between 50 to 60 when you get to a bridge, and there's just that link between A Realm Reborn and Heavensward where it just gets really, really monotonous. And quests like that, unfortunately, I feel like they probably push a lot of people away from wanting to continue or finish the game. And I feel like if you're there, just stick through it, buy a skip if you need to, and then and get to Heavensward. It just gets a lot better once you get there. Final Fantasy XIV is honestly the best community I've ever seen in the game, and that's what's helped me get to where I'm at 100 times over. Because if I was playing alone and having to go through this constant grind of quests that are just pretty much pointless at some point, I may have gotten bored and not have wanted to continue, even though Final Fantasy is one of my favorite game series ever. Final Fantasy Tactics is definitely my favorite game of all time, so for that to actually have a raid in Final Fantasy XIV has me super pumped to get there. But I was getting frustrated on how long these quests were going on once I finished the main portion of A Realm Reborn. And after I beat Rama and then Shiva, I'm like, what's going on here? It got to a point where these quests just didn't really make any sense to me. I was reading every single piece of dialogue that we were getting in Final Fantasy XIV as it was pretty interesting, but then it got to a point where I started to skip the dialogue too because it was just pointless. It didn't really have anything that was meaty, anything that really meant anything, and I just decided to start skipping through it. I wasn't enjoying it anymore. I was getting pretty frustrated, but my chat, as I was streaming it all on Twitch, they said, no, yo, keep going, power through it, it'll be worth it. And you know what? It 100% was. The story starts to pick up at about level 35, 28-ish. It's when I first fought Ifrit, I feel like that's when I really saw the promise that the game has later on. In World of Warcraft, back during Cataclysm and the End of Wrath, the server I was on, I made it to number 2 with regards to the tank rankings in that server, and I was pretty accomplished. I felt happy about myself at that time. I've always loved tanking whatever game I'm playing, so when it came to Final Fantasy XIV, I wanted to tank. And when I first fought Ifrit, the first primal, the music, baller. The fight, baller. Everything in this game with regards to music is just baller. Questing music, baller. The overworld music, baller. The city music is baller. The quest music when you're in a dungeon is baller. The trial music is baller. The primal music is baller. Everything in this game, the music is just so well done, and that made the questing for me a lot better as well, because you'd go to a new area and everything just sounds great. Same thing with the primals. It's just unreal, man. Square Enix never drops the ball when it comes to music, and I love that. And you go on Spotify and you got hundreds of hours of music from past Final Fantasy games, and they're all extremely well done. Now with the quests in Final Fantasy, a lot of them are pretty straightforward. You know, you go kill some people, come back, kill some more guys, go over here, talk to person A, take an Ethernet, come back to person B, go turn it in, go from there. It's pretty cut and dry. I'd say it's pretty similar quest as well from what I've seen so far. The funnest things that I've had happen to me and that I've gone through were pretty much the trials and doing the primals. That's what I love the most. I really love the duties, going into dungeons, and some quests really are fun and they're really unique the way that they're done, but they're just not consistently like that, which is the biggest unfortunate thing about A Realm Reborn to me. And I feel like as you go on later in the game, things are going to change a lot and get a lot better, but I'm not there yet. I just hit 60 and I just changed from a warrior to a gunbreaker. But the main thing, if someone asks me, when does Final Fantasy XIV get good? And honestly, it depends on how you make it. But if I had to put a level down onto it, I'd say level 60 or as soon as you get past A Realm Reborn. And I understand why they have that skip in the mod station for people to buy if they would like to, because the grind is pretty heavy, man. I know I don't have as many hours as a lot of people who have played Final Fantasy XIV, but just my experience going through it, if I didn't have people to play with and I didn't have as much fun as I did, I definitely wouldn't have gotten all the way to 60. It really, truly is pretty dry when it gets to that. A lot of games do have a grind heavy system as they progress through the game, but with Final Fantasy XIV, there's a lot of dialogue, and even though I was reading it all, it's a lot of reading. And when you're just going through these quests and just skipping through everything that they're saying, it gets to a point where I don't even care anymore, and I feel like other people wouldn't care anymore too. You're going from quest to quest to quest to quest, and you're skipping all this dialogue. You don't care what they're saying. It's just give me the experience and let me progress. Get me to the next primal so I can fight them and have something cool happen. But even then, with the quests, you don't die. You can't die.
I am invincible!
Everything is pretty much easy on the way from 1 to 60. The only time I actually died or came close to dying in the questing process was if I wasn't paying attention, or if I, for whatever reason, pulled everything in that area into one little spot and they just wanted to beat my ass. But even then, I probably died a maximum of 2 times doing the actual normal quests. When it comes to dungeons, pretty straightforward. I think I died twice in Aurum Vale. But when it comes to difficulty, I know when you get to the end game, things are gonna get a lot harder. Or I just went through my first Alliance raid as well. Alagon Tower, the Crystal Tower, which is at, I think I just got it at level 60 after beating A Realm Reborn, and that shit was sick. So you got 24 people in this raid, and I feel like that was the most difficult one I've been in so far, just because of all the people on screen and having to micromanage and pay attention to everything. We didn't die at all, but it was still cool to see. And I feel like once you get to the actual end of the game, when you get to harder end game raids, that's when that difficulty is gonna come. That's when things are gonna get turned up and get a lot cooler, and that's what I'm really excited for. But the story, as soon as we left A Realm Reborn and went to Heavensward, has been great. It's been funny, it's been serious. Where I'm at right now, we just went to trial and did a trial by combat for Tataru and Alpha Node. Just things like that I feel like would happen maybe once in A Realm Reborn, and pretty much the climax of that story. But right at the beginning of Heavensward, things are just turning up and getting really, really cool. I'd say overall though, Final Fantasy XIV is definitely the best MMO on the market right now. I have no desire and no want or drive to have to go and play World of Warcraft. I honestly, I don't care about it at all, even though I spent years playing that and I'm only a couple months into Final Fantasy XIV. The game doesn't have a very active PvP aspect, but I don't need that. I love the PvE and I love the community so far. When the game gets good, level 60, but I thought it got pretty cool, and you get to see glimmers of what you're actually gonna get at the meat of the game at level 28-ish, 30-ish when you first see Ifrit. If that fight doesn't pump you up and get you just wanting more, man, then play it a bit more, see what else it's got, because I thought that was a sick fight. But that was a really basic fight too. They get so much more complicated, man. I love how you have so many things that you have to dodge, and how you have to communicate with your DPS and the healer, and you gotta make sure that you don't kill a certain ad so it can do something sometimes, or you have to go click an item to, there's just so many things that can happen in these boss fights that I love and that they're interactive. But then you have quests where you're washing chocobos with your bare hands and it's taking 5 minutes to scoop a bucket of water out of the river. Things like that. That's the only thing what kind of is a downfall with the leveling process. But Final Fantasy XIV is hands down worth playing in 2019, and in my opinion is pretty much the best MMO that's out there right now. There are some that I haven't played, but I have no want or need to. This game is everything I would want in an MMORPG, and I'm I love it so far, and I really hope more and more people start playing it. And even though people are on the classic WoW wave right now, hey, Final Fantasy is where it's at, baby. Now, this wasn't a review. I just wanted to give my thoughts on Final Fantasy XIV after I hit 60. Game is awesome, man. I'm playing on Diabolos right now. I just switched from Gunbreaker from Warrior, and I'm loving it. Just still so many things that I gotta learn about it. How to get better with my glamours, learning more about materia, because I haven't used the materia system at all. And I know the materia system is how you pretty much engrave or put gems onto your armor so you can improve them, but I don't think I need to do that while I'm leveling up. There's the housing system. I have a free company, Legion of Tune, that's at level 8, but I don't have a house yet. I have about 1 million gil. Still trying to save up more, and we'll go from there. And the PvP, I haven't done a large PvP battle. I don't think I've done an actual PvP battle at all yet, so I need to do that. There's so much to learn and know in this game, and I love that. But I'm just trying to enjoy the process and enjoy the journey. And I feel like for anyone that is leveling right now for the first time and they're on their first character like I am, enjoy that journey, man. Because after we hit endgame and after we get our first character to 60, 70, 80, all that questing that we did prior, the first time we go through those things, whether it's frustrating, whether it's really, really fun, or if it's just emotional, we're only going to really experience that for the first time once. So enjoy that journey, man. Dive into Eorzea, enjoy the environment, enjoy the community, enjoy the frustration, and shit, man. Have fun playing the best MMO that's out there right now. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Anything you want me to discuss or even look into or check out, put it into the comment section below, and I'll see what I can do.